guys, how are you today? Time to talk 90 Day Fiance. We got a lot to cover today. Today we're going to talk about Jenny and Sumit's divorce basically being useless. Then we're going to talk about Deavan finally revealing Drascilla's diagnosis. And then we're going to talk about Royal and Angenette. Let's jump right into it, people. Okay, so we've seen last week's episode where Sumit finally got his divorce from his first wife. His father had to beg and borrow, plead from different people to get money to get the $20,000 that he needed to divorce his first wife. And Jenny and Sumit were ecstatic, okay? When he announced it over the phone, yes, I'm divorced now. Jenny's like, oh, I'm so happy, and all of that. But let's talk about did it really make a difference? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, Sumit still needs his parents' permission to marry Jenny. And according to the rumors, and not only the rumors, I believe they announced it on the show. No, they're never going to do that. But the rumors take it a bit further. Not only are they not going to do that, they still hope that Sumit would find someone else. They still do not like Jenny and do not bless this relationship. Now, what was the point of the divorce? I mean, it really didn't make any sense. If you ask me, and of course I'm just one person, but I'm just saying, why go in debt $20,000 when at the end of the day, you guys had no intentions of approving this marriage whatsoever? Maybe it was a cry for help for the dads to say, yes, son, we will support you as long as the person's name is not Jenny. They're never going to like her. They're never going to bless the marriage. What part doesn't Sumit get? And really, just think about it. As a parent, can you say you blame them? No. Do you want your son to throw away his life, okay, with this woman that is 3 times his age, not have any children, and not have a real relationship? Because every time they're going to go out in public, people are going to look at them and whisper, oh, she ruined his first relationship. Now, it's just not worth it. I mean, it's just not worth it. As I keep saying in every video, sometimes you need more than just love to sustain a relationship. And this is one of these situations. What does love have to do with it? As Tina Turner would say, absolutely not. All Sumit is doing at the end of the day is wasting precious time. You have to move on, which means that your parents want you to find a different woman. Give or take, you're still in debt. You going around looking for jobs is not going to solve the problem that you owe your parents $20,000. In a sense, what that means is you're giving them more authority and more reason to tell you no. I'm not going to bless anything if you still owe me $20,000. And not only that, they borrowed the money from different places, different people. They're going to go in debt, and you still want them to bless this marriage? I say at the end of the day, that divorce was absolutely useless. It meant nothing when you really look at the grand scheme of things. Okay, now let's move on. So a couple days ago, Deavan was saying that her daughter was going through some emergency medical crisis. She didn't reveal what it was. She just said, poor little Drascilla has a medical condition. Well, she finally released what it was yesterday, and that's Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy. I've heard of this disease before. It's when one side of your face becomes paralyzed. Now, it sounds really, really bad, but I'm told that it's not a permanent condition. They don't know what brings it on, but a couple years ago, a friend of mine's mother had it, and literally she woke up one morning and was not able to move one side of her face. This explains this picture. If you see her smile's kind of crooked, one side is smiling, the other side isn't. I mean, people want to know, does Bell's palsy have anything to do with like maybe attention deficit? Or a lot of people think that maybe Drascilla has some other kind of behavioral problem. No, it doesn't. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. But it feels like you still don't want your daughter to have this condition, and even though it's supposed to be temporary, how long does that mean? 5 years, 1 year? I mean, it's still something that you don't want any kid, not just your daughter, any child to go through. I mean, to have one side of their face paralyzed, it's really, really bad. But a lot of people was asking me, oh, does this have anything to do with her behavior? And no, it does not. But it seems like a lot of things happened to Drascilla. I mean, you know, the whole thing with Jihoon allegedly, you know, violating her. It's just one child going through so much. I don't know even what to make of it. But people are saying that Deavan is using this sickness as a way to garner attention. Now, I don't see what one thing has to do with the other, because if it was my child, you don't want your child to go through that. But people are saying this is a part of the game that her and Jihoon are playing with each other, going back and forth, one-upping each other for attention. Now, what? It's really crazy. So Jihoon posted this picture on his social media. It's a picture of his mother with Yang, I hope I'm saying the child's name right, back in the day. And people are saying he's only posting that to garner sympathy. And then Jihoon supporters are saying, no, he's doing that because he misses his child. As I say in every video, this whole Deavan and Jihoon thing, it's a mess. You've got people that are supporters on both sides, standing up for who they believe is right. I say it's in the best person's hands, which is the courts, because that's where this needs to be resolved. Is he posting these pictures for sympathy? You can look at it either way. Same for Deavan. Is she saying that her child has Bell's palsy, which is not made up? You can clearly see it in the picture. But is she posting and talking about it for sympathy when she wasn't willing to reveal it the other day? I don't know. For both teams, they have both warned me out. I'm saying let the courts deal with it. That's my opinion. But of course, you guys are going to go back and forth in the comment section depending on how you look at it. I don't know. I say it's a mess and it needs to stay in court. And then the final story I wanted to talk about was the Royal Angenette situation from the family Chantel. This is another crazy situation. Now, up until a couple days ago, it was presented as Royal was this overbearing, somewhat of a nut job person that didn't want Angenette to do anything. He showed up when they went out, when they took her out to a club, and he's just very, very overpowering. Like, he doesn't want her to do anything. Well, now it's finally being revealed. He doesn't want her to do anything because he's paranoid. And he's paranoid because, according to the rumors, she was pregnant in the beginning of their relationship. She was 2 weeks pregnant, and according to the rumors, she miscarried the baby. Well, according to the rumors, it's because Royal didn't believe that he was going to be the father of that baby. According to him, she had messed around with someone else and got pregnant with someone else. Am I shocked that she's even being accused of cheating? No. And let me tell you why. A lot of these men who meet these women overseas through apps or however they meet them are paranoid. And they're paranoid because, according to the rumors, this is a racket. This is what some women do to make it out of their country to come into the U.S. They use different men, talk to many at one time, and then whoever takes the bait, they decide to come over and marry. And this is their way of getting entry into the U.S. It is a genuine source of paranoia, because if they do it with you, they might do it to you. Meaning, if they're willing to use you to get into the U.S., then they'll do other people. And so for me, he's going to be constantly paranoid throughout this entire marriage, if it lasts that long. Am I throwing shade at him? No. Most of these marriages do not work. The woman comes into the U.S., stays in her whatever the allotted time is, I think it's 2 years or something like that, eventually falls for a divorce, and then goes on and live her real life in the U.S. because she just used you to get into the country. Now, do I think that Angenette is a person that would do this? Yeah. I'm not trying to be mean. She's very nice and seems very sweet, but it feels like to me that she has an agenda. And that's what Chantel and her family is paranoid about. Is she one of these women that just used my brother just for entry into the U.S.? And if you ask me, and nobody has, remember, I love giving unwanted opinions, that Royal is clearly a target for this woman to get into the U.S. And can he make this a real marriage, make her really start loving him at some point? I don't think so. Because when you are the type of person that can use someone just for your own gain, there's just no way you're going to even eventually turn this relationship into love, if you ask me. But as I say, at the end of the day, we all have our different opinions, and that just happens to be mine. So let's go ahead and talk about these things in the comment section, because all of these questions that I'm asking you today basically is no one's right, no one's wrong. It depends on the individual. It really does. So in the comment section, do you think that Sumit's parents will ever give him permission to marry Jenny? And I'm saying no, which would lead to my next question. Was this divorce a complete waste of time? It did nothing but put Sumit into huge debt. Let me know what you think about that. And then number 2, is Deavan using her daughter's medical condition to garner more sympathy? Let me know what you think about that. And are these two playing the media, both her and Ji-hoon, for sympathy? Let me know what you think about that. And then Royal and Angenette. Do you guys think that Angenette will all eventually fall in love with Royal? Let me know what you think about that. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. It does wonders for my video. If you haven't already subscribed and hit the notification button, go ahead and do that. I'll meet you guys in the comment section. We got a lot to talk about. It's time to have an adult conversation. And remember, just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't mean you guys have to fight with each other. We can have a civilized adult conversation. In the meantime, bye for now.